Which car brands make the best hybrids and what are the advantages and downsides to each one? That's what we're going to find out. Welcome to Car Help Corner, where we help you, the consumer, master the process of car buying and car ownership. For this video, I'm going to rank the most popular hybrids from worst to best and share which ones are at the very top in terms of efficiency, reliability, and serviceability. So if you were ever wondering what are the major differences between a Toyota, a Honda, a Kia, or a Hyundai hybrid system, and which one has the most advantages, then this video is for you. But before we get into it, remember, if you enjoy and get value out of this video, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. So I've chosen a few car brands to focus on, which are the biggest players with hybrids. And the first of those is a tie between Hyundai and Kia. Now there are many reasons why I've chosen Hyundai and Kia to put on this list, but in the last place. For those who don't know, Hyundai and Kia are partner companies and they have been making hybrids for just over a decade. On the positive side, Kia and Hyundai's hybrid systems are quite fuel efficient. Their SUVs are able to average roughly between 35 to 38 miles per gallon, or around 6.5 to 7 liters per 100 kilometers. And their small hybrid cars are able to do even better than that. Another positive that owners really like is that they use a conventional 6-speed transmission, as opposed to an eCVT that's found on most other hybrids. This helps give them a more familiar feel, similar to that of a regular vehicle, which a lot of buyers prefer. And they also have one of the longest warranties in the industry, which is another benefit, giving you a lot of peace of mind. With all that said though, there are a few drawbacks that you need to be aware of if you're considering any of the Kia or Hyundai hybrids. Firstly, rather than having a 2-motor hybrid system, which is far more common on most other brands, Kia and Hyundai instead decided to go with a unique single-motor design, which does have some drawbacks. Because you have one electric motor that's doing all the work, you can hear and feel the engine kicking on and off a lot more. It just doesn't have the same level of refinement that you get with a much more sophisticated 2-motor hybrid system. On a 2-motor hybrid, one of the electric motors is also replacing the need for a separate starter, alternator, belts, so you do eliminate a lot of the parts and repairs that go along with them. But on a Hyundai and Kia, you still have all these components, meaning more complexity. And speaking of more complexity and repairs, with Hyundai and Kia SUVs, you also have a more complicated turbocharged engine with direct fuel injection. Turbos generate a lot of heat and pressure, which is not ideal for a hybrid system that's constantly turning the engine on and off. It's just not a great setup for longevity, especially if you're the type that holds on to their vehicle as long as possible. It just means more potential repair concerns and more headaches in the long term. Hyundai and Kia make some really nicely designed vehicles, but their hybrid design is far from the best. So now let's move on to the next car brand, which is Ford. Now many might not know it, but Ford has actually been making hybrids for nearly 20 years. They use a 2-motor hybrid system, which is a solid design, and one that they have been refining for many years. You will find this hybrid system on the Ford Escape SUV, the Ford Maverick, and also on the Lincoln side with the Corsair SUV. Now, unlike Hyundai and Kia, Ford uses a naturally aspirated Atkinson cycle 4-cylinder engine, which pairs with 2 electric motors and a planetary gear type eCVT for the transmission. Basically, this hybrid design is a copy of what Toyota has been doing for many years, but it's all the better for it. This is a much better hybrid design for longevity, smoothness, and repair concerns. Because you have a second electric motor, it eliminates the need for a starter, alternator, and belts, and there is no turbocharger. And with 2 electric motors, it's also a smoother operating system when the engine is turning on and off as you drive. It also achieves slightly better fuel economy. For example, the Escape and Maverick are rated to achieve just over 40 miles per gallon, or under 6 liters per 100 kilometers, which is impressive. But although this is a good hybrid system, it certainly does have some downsides. For one thing, it's not used widely enough. You can only find it on a few Ford models, which is a little bit unusual. It's also a little bit weak on power and performance. And because this hybrid system does use an eCVT, you do have that CVT feel as you drive, which not everybody is really a fan of. And finally, we have quality concerns with Ford in general. Now, although their hybrids are pretty good, the brand in general is not known for having the best quality, and they have had a lot of recalls as of late. So although it's certainly not a bad choice, there are definitely better hybrids that you could buy instead. So now let's move on to the next car brand, which is Honda. Now next to Toyota, nobody has been making hybrids longer than Honda. They've been doing it for just over 20 years, and they've been very good at it. Like Ford and Toyota, Honda uses a two-motor hybrid design, although it is a somewhat unique one. It uses a naturally aspirated 4-cylinder Atkinson cycle engine with an electric drive motor generator, another electric generator, and a lithium-ion battery pack. It also operates without a conventional automatic transmission, and arguably no transmission at all. It operates as a series hybrid at lower speeds, powering the electric motor with the battery and generator. And at higher speeds, a clutch can engage that connects the engine directly to the drive wheels, with no variability in gear ratios. Most of the time though, the gas engine is just acting as a generator for the electric motors and the battery. Now all of that might sound a little bit complicated, but there are many benefits to Honda's hybrid design. For one thing, you have mechanical simplicity. There's no turbocharger, no belts, alternator, or starter, and arguably no transmission. And all of that means that you just have less components and less parts to repair over the long term. And the reliability of this hybrid system has been excellent. There are just very few things that you really need to be concerned with. It's also a very fuel-efficient hybrid and delivers the economy that most hybrid buyers would expect. Depending on the model, you can get anywhere from 40 to 50 miles per gallon, or roughly around 5 to 6 liters per 100 kilometers. And finally, unlike other hybrids that have an eCVT, Honda has programmed their system to mimic a step-gear transmission. This is a really nice bonus and gives the Honda system an excellent driving feel. On the other hand though, there are a few downsides to Honda's hybrid design. The first one is that the engine is direct injection only, which means that carbon buildup could potentially become an issue over the long term. And for some reason, Honda has also decided to go with a mechanical all-wheel drive system, which is a missed opportunity for Honda to simplify the vehicle design by simply using an electric motor for all-wheel drive. The all-wheel drive system uses a transfer case, drive shaft, and a differential, as you would have on any conventional all-wheel drive vehicle, which means more repair concerns and more maintenance over the long term. Other than that though, this is a really good hybrid system, and easily one of the best ones that you can buy. But of course, there are two other car brands that make a hybrid system that has even more benefits with fewer downsides, and those brands are Toyota and Lexus. Toyota takes a very traditional approach to hybridization, traditional meaning that it follows the pattern established by the original Prius. It's a hybrid design that Toyota has been refining for over 25 years. Like Honda and Ford, Toyota uses a naturally aspirated Atkinson cycle 4-cylinder engine with 2 electric motor generators up front and a third electric motor on the rear axle for the all-wheel drive versions. Now like Ford, rather than a conventional step-gear transmission or a belt pulley continuously variable transmission, Toyota uses a planetary gear type transmission, also called eCVT, a system of gears that works with the electric motors to provide continuously variable gear ratios. Now the benefits of Toyota's most popular hybrid system are many, starting with the fuel economy. Depending on the model, Toyota's hybrid system is able to deliver anywhere from 35 miles per gallon or 7 liters per 100 kilometers on the bigger SUVs and minivans, to as good as nearly 60 miles per gallon or 4 liters per 100 kilometers on these small cars and hatchbacks. But not only is it a very efficient design, but it's also an extremely reliable one. As mentioned, Toyota has been refining the same basic hybrid design for over 25 years, and it is safe to say that they have pretty much perfected it. The engine is a simple, naturally aspirated design that uses both port and direct fuel injection, which means that carbon buildup is not going to be an issue. And the two-motor design eliminates the need for belts, tensioners, a starter, or an alternator, so there are very few maintenance issues. And then you have the eCVT, which is a bulletproof design that's proven to be extremely durable and long-lasting. And then you have the simple electric all-wheel drive system, which uses an electric motor that powers the back wheels, replacing the need for a transfer case, drive shaft, and a differential. It's just an excellent hybrid design that not only minimizes your maintenance, but also reduces the potential repair concerns over a 10 to 15 year period. Another huge benefit is the hybrid warranty. Unlike other car brands that give you an 8-year warranty on the hybrid battery pack, Toyota gives you a 10-year warranty, making it the best in the industry. It's very safe to say that potential battery replacement is going to be a very rare occurrence on any Toyota hybrid. But another benefit is that if it were to happen, you do have a lot more options available when compared to other brands. Toyota hybrids are so incredibly popular, even being used as taxis and limos. There are just more low-cost third-party options available for battery replacement. Again, it's very unlikely to be needed, at least until the car is at least 12 to 15 years old. But if it were to happen, you can get a replacement third-party battery for under $2,000, much less than any other hybrid. And again, that's simply because Toyota hybrids are just way more popular and they've been around for a lot longer than any other hybrids on the market, just giving you a lot more options when it comes to serviceability. Now, of course, not everything is perfect with Toyota hybrids either. One downside to them is that the eCVT performance is not really the best. They do give you a consistent drone during hard acceleration, which amplifies the gravelly feel of Toyota's four-cylinder engines. Another more serious downside though is a potential corrosion issue with the hybrid cable on some all-wheel drive models. This hybrid cable on certain 2019 to 2022 models is vulnerable to splitting and corrosion after accumulating road debris and road salt due to the effects of repeated freeze and thaw cycles in really cold weather. Presumably, the design is more vulnerable in eastern Canada and the central and northeast United States because of the harsher winter environment. After many complaints and even a major class action lawsuit, Toyota agreed to extend the warranty on this part up to 8 years, which is great to see. But there is a very easy way to prevent this problem from happening in the first place, which is to use a really good oil spray rust protection product, which is realistically something that you should be doing anyway with any vehicle, especially if you live somewhere with harsh winters and where road salt is used on the roads. And if you do use a good rust protection oil spray, which again is something that you should realistically be doing anyway, this is not going to be an issue whatsoever. There are many good hybrids on the market and there are more and more coming out all the time. But it is clear that when it comes to reliability, serviceability, but also the basic things like their performance and efficiency, some are a lot better than others. And in that way, the hybrid system that you get with a Lexus or Toyota just has a lot more benefits than most others. So after watching this video, which hybrid would you go for? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. You can also watch my other videos by clicking these links over here. Make sure to follow me on TikTok and Instagram, and if you need any additional car buying advice, recommendations, or help with getting a great deal on your next new car purchase, make sure to visit carhelpcan.com. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next time.